What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Kiwan, and I am back with the final episode of season 4 of Zatima, y'all. Season 4, episode 20, In the Shadows. Okay? I just want to say, when we find Leslie, we gon' snatch her mother edges off. Okay? We gonna drag her by her scalp, and we gonna snatch her all the way down to her roots. Okay? And so, Courtney, can we please give Fatima and Zach a break? Can we please allow them to have this baby? Season 5, they need to have this baby. I do not want to go. I think if this happens, if we get another struggle situation where they have to keep fighting to get to a better place, I don't want to keep watching this. I am okay with them being a good show, with them being in a happy place, and they don't have to constantly struggle. Like, we can wrap Leslie the up. Okay, we can really just wrap her up. We can really just send this jail, and we can start to develop everybody else and open up everybody else's storyline and delve deeply into them, where it's still not overshadowing Zach and Fatima. That's what I want. I am not debating anybody. I stand on that, and I will die on a hill about it. I am over it. Not only do we get to see this in Sisters, but I don't want to continue to see this in Zatima. I am over it. I get cliffhangers. I get this, but even for karma's sake, hell, she didn't help Karen. Help her to have her baby. Can we get some good karma over here? I'm just saying. Like, we don't want to go over this all over again. This is going to be a season 9 all over again. Having depression. Zach mad. Not only do he have to relive losing another baby again. No, we don't want to do that. Now we have to have Fatima lose another baby. And then there goes another issue in their marriage where it's going to cause major issue. We don't want to keep doing that. There is always something coming in between them. I'm over that. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't mean to rant. I swear, I promise, with everything in me, I'm so over these damn storylines. I am. And I'm telling y'all, first episode is next season 5, episode 1. It's going to tell me everything I need to know, and I will let y'all know whether or not I'm going to review this. Because I'm over the struggle of Zach and Fatima. Like, I feel like these two characters have worked so hard to get to such a great place for them to just kind of be like, to get here and to continue to lose. Every time they get somewhere, now we got to lose again. I just wanted to say that because it's just an aggravation, and I know they're just characters, and I'm not taking this personal, but as a viewer, not a reviewer, but as an actual viewer, you don't want to continue to see this. You want to see character development, and as we see them develop, we want to continue to see their story change for the better. We don't want to see the progression, and then in the end they have to regress. They get to a big progression, and then something happens. We get to another progression, and then we get a gut punch. shit is aggravating, y'all. If you ask me, this shit is aggravating. Like, I mean, it was a good episode. Let me say that. It was a good episode, but you know, I just get annoyed. I get annoyed. Okay. All right, y'all. So the episode starts with Zach. He's walking around a baby shower. I'm sorry, I got something. I feel like I got something in my eye. He's walking around a baby shower, a little frantic because not a little frantic because he felt like he saw Leslie. So Angela sees Zach and she tells him Fatima suspects something is going on. Zach tells Leslie he think he saw Leslie, but he showed her the pow. He was like, she need to be tread lightly because I got my pow pretty much. Angela tells him, you need to make sure that Leslie ain't, like, you really need to make sure that this lady ain't here. But he also lets her know that Mr. Henry is looking into it. I just wanted to point out once again, Angela's hair is simply gorgeous. I don't know who's her stylist on here, but her stylist literally has her hair laid every time. And her makeup, flawless every time. And let me say this. All of the women on this show, whoever is the stylist, whoever does everything on here on Zatima, they nail it. They nailed it with the ladies. The hair, the makeup. It has been such, season 1, I don't even remember, but it's been amazing. Hair and makeup in top tier. Let me say that. So anyway, Ms. Mona walks up to Zach, compliments him on the baby shower and how everything looks. She notices how fidgety Zach is, and she asks if he's okay. So he tried to play it off, and he said, I'm just making sure everything is all good. So she walks off. She was like, okay. So she walked off. So she asks, so Zach calls over Tony and Nate, and, they ask, and he asked if they saw Crazy Leslie. Well, they said no. And of course, they're kind of no help. Nate is just looking around, looking at the women, not really paying attention. So Zach wants them to be on, keep their eyes dotted and T's crossed. Like, be paying attention, be aware, keep your head on the swivel type stuff. And so they decided to let's just make ourselves useful. So Mr. Henry walks up to Zach, very concerned. Very, very concerned. So we found out that Leslie did not post bail. However, she escaped. I just want y'all to give me my rights because I did say that. I said once she get with that officer. Now, I was wrong because I thought she was going to do something to him and that was going to be her way of escape. But I told y'all this lady was going to find a way to escape. So anyway, we actually get a flashback how everything went down with Leslie and how she was able to maneuver her way out. So the day Leslie was locked up, we see that particular scene where the guard and Leslie, well, she was flirting with the guard and the guard told her, I'm going to circle back. And so when she finally get with the guard, well, of course they're doing the do. So of course this is the start of the setup. And let's just keep it all the way above. The guard ain't nothing but a nasty clown, in my opinion. So then she asked him to take her home with him. And he was like, I can't take you home because I'm going to get in trouble. I was like, that's a strange request, but whatever. I was like, so you're not going to take her, you're not going to get in trouble you won't, your concern is getting in trouble for taking her home, but your main concern isn't screwing her. Like, you can literally get caught for screwing this lady. I'm just saying, like, you're literally screwing her. Somebody could just walk in on y'all. But whatever. It's TV. It's Tyler's world. Anyway, she decided to go south on the guard, if you know what I mean. And then we see Leslie in her cell. So at this point, she's down on her knees acting like she can't breathe. So there's a second guard in there. He was like, yeah, she lying. This ain't true. They always doing that. So the guard that was screwing Leslie, he was like, open the gate, just go. No, he told the other guard, go get some help. Go get her some help. And somehow we still don't see how he managed to get Leslie from out of the cell into the back of the van with all of the clothes. I mean, with all of the, looked like it was a laundry, a whole bunch of laundry or whatever. We don't know how they managed to do that, but somehow they managed to do that. But whatever. Okay, we just seen her stomach was hurting. She went from her stomach was hurting. I was thinking, well, maybe they was gonna put her in the back of what they call it, in the back of an ambulance and take her onto a hospital, and she was gonna try to escape from there. But no, she's in the back of the police van under a whole bunch of clothes. I don't know. And she was just like, you okay, baby? He was like, you okay, baby? I'm just like, my God, on today. I guess. Anyway, she get to that, I don't know, she get to her house. All of those pictures that I remember she had up with Zatima. She get there, she mad, just talking a whole lot of crap, taking those pictures down, getting the fake baby bump, talking to it as if it's some type of real baby. I was like, this heifer is truly insane. She is insane, y'all. She is insane. So then, I guess it's the next day. She get herself together. She goes into Belinda's shop. Leslie walks in like it's a normal sunny day, like this heifer just didn't escape. Okay? My problem with the female Derek Groves. Okay, shout out to Derek Groves and all them inmates that escaped from Tulane and Broad. Okay? If you from New Orleans, okay, if you know. She just walks in there like it was just a fresh old sunny day. And she was like, oh, hey, friend. Okay, girl. Belinda said, hey, girl. She said, you look like you getting ready to pop. Leslie was like, I hope not. I haven't had my baby shower yet. Belinda said, oh, it must be baby shower season because my girl and her man, they're getting ready to have theirs this weekend. Leslie asked, where are they having their baby shower? Belinda said they're using their law firm. So, while we think that Belinda disclosed the information, she absolutely did not. She just said at their law firm. She does not know that Leslie knows Zatima. She does not know that Leslie elevator don't go all the way up. All she said was at their law firm. So technically, she did not give up any information. She did say, I think she said they're having it this weekend. I wanted to say. But she just said at their law firm. If y'all go back, she said they was having it at their law firm. So Leslie had one of the workers. So she arrived to the law firm. We get to the baby shower. She arrived to the law firm dressed up. She get off the elevator. She see one of the staff workers that's catering or whatever for the baby shower. And so she asked the girl, hey, can you help me with some stuff in my car? Yada, yada, yada. So the girl was like, the girl was like, oh, okay, I'll help you. And so the girl was like, well, what's your name? She was like, I'm Mrs. And she said, I'm Miss, what's Fatima? Whatever, Fatima Wilson. No, did she say Thomas? I think she said her last name was Thomas or Wilson. But whatever. And she told her, I think she said her last name was Thomas. And she was like, do you know, are you really close with, the people, with the parents? And she was like, yeah, lying, And so she was like, yeah. So the lady go downstairs. So y'all know Leslie probably got that girl in that trunk down there somewhere, like, which is crazy to me. So anyway, we back at the baby shower. And Zach makes a speech and is awaiting Fatima to come out. Now, prior to that, when she went downstairs with the girl, she came right back up and had on the girl's outfit, and she took off the baby bump or whatever. So, with the speech, he told him that Fatima gonna come out, so when she come out, y'all really just clap for her, make her feel good, yada yada yada. So Zach goes in one of the rooms, grab Fatima, and take her out to greet everyone. And so I'm gonna be honest, when she came out, she took off her mask. She looked like she didn't like it. She looked like she kind of wasn't pleased. And everybody taste is different, so I'm really not mad at that. But Zach was like, do you like it? She said no. She takes off her mask, she greets everyone. I actually thought she was gonna cry, but surprisingly she didn't. She was like, who are these people? And he was like, that's family, girl. What part of the family is this to y'all? And so she tells Zach, you did the most, but I love it. And the way she was looking at everything, like, I really don't like this, but I'ma just tell him that I like it, even though low-key I don't. So anyway, Fatima gets up because her mom wanted her to take pictures with some aunts and some family members or whatever. She looks over on the other side of the room and she literally sees Leslie. Fatima looked like she's seen a ghost. And so at this point, she's completely thrown off, but she's still taking pictures, thrown completely off, because every time she take a picture, it felt like Leslie was coming closer and closer, but Leslie was just moving around. So then Leslie was walking, and Belinda was by the food, and she looked, and she no, not this part. Belinda is standing next to Nate. So she spoke to Nate. Nate, like he ain't seen her because he was sitting there flirting with a girl. She felt the way. It wasn't really nothing to that, but it is what it is. So he left and walked over there with the girl. He ain't want no trouble. He ain't want no drama. So at this point, Fatima is completely disturbed because she can visibly see Leslie. Leslie is making herself. When I tell y'all, I was livid. Like, I was livid. I literally wanted to fight that lady. And I was like, where is your cousin? Okay, where is your cousin? Okay, because she should have been gone. Okay, where's your cousin? Okay, we need some people. Where's them goons that you had at the beginning of whatever season? Oh, I think it was Sisters. I don't know where them goons at. Anyway, so Belinda thought she saw Leslie. She looked and she thought she saw Leslie, and she goes after her. And so again, Belinda knows absolutely, she knows nothing. And so she runs into Angela, and she was like, that looked like, oh, I'm sorry, y'all, these gnats, I'm sorry, it's just one flying around, it's a nuisance. So she runs into Angela, And so Angela was like, what's going on? She was like, I thought I saw my client. Her name is Leslie. And so Angela was like, Leslie? And she was like, you know her? And Belinda was like, well, basically, my client. She was like, she trying to unalive Fatima. So at this point, Belinda is like, what? Like, what the hell is really going on around here? So now Belinda and Angela, they're looking for Fatima and Leslie. And so Nate think he saw Leslie, so now he's flagging Zach down, and now everybody's looking for Fatima and Leslie. So Fatima goes into the bathroom. She tells her mom, hey, stay right here in front of the door. And her mom comes into the bathroom and say, hey, I'm going to go get you something to drink. She tells her mom, no, I'm not thirsty. Stay right here. No. And as she leaves, I believe Leslie either came into the bathroom, or she was already in one of the stalls because Fatima heard something. And so when Fatima turned around, she sees Leslie, and she immediately started to have these pains in her stomach. So at this point, Leslie is extremely upset, of course. And she's mad at Fatima because of Malachi, but you're not really mad at Fatima. At the end of the day, you pissed off at Malachi, and you should be pissed off at yourself, Leslie, because you was a thirsty hoe. And you being thirsty, and you really, let's just keep it all the way up being in the book. It seemed like you have always been jealous of whatever relationship that had been between Fatima and Malachi. And when Fatima and Malachi broke up, you saw an opportunity, and you went and you tried to grab that opportunity. But you realized that getting into that opportunity, you just couldn't give Malachi what he wanted, and you settled. He settled with you. He really didn't want you. He wanted Fatima. Crazy. Anyway, Malachi pretty much wanted Leslie to be Fatima. He wouldn't marry her. Leslie was like, I wanted to be married. However, Malachi wouldn't marry anybody unless it was Fatima. He wanted to have kids. They wanted to have kids. But every time Leslie got pregnant, Malachi made her go to the baby chop shop. And I just think that's crazy. I think that Leslie, not only does she have a whole bunch of mental issues, let's be all the way clear, she has mental issues, but we're going to throw in a whole lot of self-esteem issues with that. Because why would you stay with somebody who don't want to marry you, even though you want a marriage? Why would you stay with somebody who continuously, every time that person got you pregnant, made you go to the baby chop shop? And you blamed her for not getting anything you wanted. And then when Zach and Fatima got together and their relationship was secured and all of the things, that was a reason why Malachi didn't want you no more. Apparently, that's why Malachi dumped you. And so now you blame Fatima for Malachi leaving you. Child. That's why he made you look like Fatima. Child. And you went along with it. But you're mad at her for something you agreed to. Girl, this lady is crazy. She needs to be... Can we just off her? Am I supposed to say off on here? I don't think I'm supposed to use the word off. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But I tried. Listen, this part was hard because she started to bleed. Brought me back to season 9, Sisters, when Karen was in the hospital and she was losing all of that blood. Not okay. Not okay. So Leslie told her, I've lost my family and I'm about to watch, I really don't, basically, you gonna lose yours. And she just watched her for a little while. She broke the door so nobody won't get into the bathroom, and she went out of the exit door. I said, this is crazy. This is crazy. So Zach gets into the door. We went from there. We got to the hospital, and he comes out of the waiting room, and he was just panicked, like, oh my God, I can't go in there. And I'm pretty sure he thought about baby, what was the baby name, y'all? Jesus, what was Zach's baby name? I forgot the baby's name. But Forever, baby Forever. He had to be thinking about that day at the hospital. And now to kind of go through this, like, that's a lot. Y'all, that is a lot. So he came out, he was crying. He was just pacing, and the doctor was like, we need you to come back. He was like, no, I can't. She was like, you can come back into the room. And I ain't gonna lie, when that lady came out, because that doctor lady, that black lady be giving me a lot of hope every time I see her on screen. So I feel like that black lady gave me hope. Y'all, I'm really trying to be G right now. I'm really trying to be G. So yeah, I'm trying to be G. Whew. So anyway, y'all know I don't like this kind of stuff. Mr. Henry, he's pissed. He's mad. He's pissed. And he starts to blame Zach. Sir, this had no bearing on Zach. Zach didn't know any of these people. He did not know this lady was like this. Even Zatima didn't know this lady was like this. And she knew these people first. Like, you're mad, be mad at them. But don't be mad at Zach. And I just think that that's unfair that you're trying to place this on the doorstep. So the wife was like, you're drunk. And so I was like, huh. And the way he was talking about Zach, I was like, they say a sober mind speak the truth. Do you really feel like that about Zach? Like, all the stuff you say to Zach and the niceties that you carry about him, is that really real, sir? Nah, I got questions. So Mama Mona, Miss Mona was like, nah, this is what we expect from Miss Mona. But Miss Mona was like, nah, you not gonna blame Zach. Nah, I'm not gonna let you do that. Shout out to Miss Mona. And now Nate's standing there. Nate was standing there in the corner. He was pissed because he heard this man talking about Zach. And we all know Zach is a stand-up guy. And so Mr. Henry was like, if anything happened to my grandbaby, I'm a yada, yada, yada. So Nate was like, old man, you tripping, because Zach would unalive anybody for your daughter. And we know that. And him and Nate kind of tussle. They was about to tussle. I was like, okay, Nate, shout out to you. Okay, because I was really surprised at Mr. Henry. I was really surprised. I mean, coming from a father, I get it, because he, that's his daughter and that's his grandchild. I get it. But that, we can't place that on Zach's doorstep. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This lady has done a lot. These people done their part. he didn't know because he didn't know any of these things was going on. But when he found out, that's when he started putting some things in motion. Anyway, if we gonna be honest about it. So Mona was like, after they broke everything up, Mona was like, let's just pray. Like, she really got into this Ella Payne mode. Okay, pray. So everybody gathered together and they joined hands for prayer, and this is where the episode ended. And it was pretty good. I thought that this episode was good, but as I stated, y'all, I can't keep doing the struggle for them to get to a good place. I mean, I get it. It's drama. It's you know, I get it. But yeah, I really hope that the writer have them to keep the baby. That's the least, well, for them to, because we don't even know what's going on with Michael. We don't even know the storyline about that. It was like it just fell off. He lost his mom. His brother Jeremiah not coming back. We don't even know if they're going to unalive Jeremiah, if they're going to off Jeremiah, or if they're going to send him off where he's clean. And that's too much loss. So, and then with Connie, we just don't know. It looks like Connie's going to be back next season because she was at the baby shower. So yeah, I feel like y'all should be able to write that in where they can keep their baby. Okay. Anyway, y'all, that's all I got. I ain't got no more. Anyway, this is your girl Kiwan, reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Okay.